Where I am today is there's a new mission. And the mission that I have in life today is to recognize my first book, Never Eat Alone, the theme was you can't get there alone. You need other people. And today I realize no, you need to host a beautiful set of souls who collectively can achieve disproportionately extraordinary things. And that's a unique form of leadership. It's a unique way to fulfill a mission. And it's so different from the scarcity that I was born from and the insecurity that thinks that I have to do it myself. The belief in partnership and the knowledge of intimacy of how to get out of your own way so that you can approach partnership. I haven't shared much about my personal life along the way, but I had 2 marriages to 2 amazing men. And my intimacy disorder came to light in those relationships. I was one man in my books and my stage presence, but my drive and my mission and my scarcity and my fear to achieve left behind the attentiveness that I should have been for love. Didn't really think about love. And to be honest with you, I didn't think I deserved it. I didn't think I deserved it because the thing in my brain that said broken, even though I authentically appreciated who I am as a gay man, I still felt broken. The tape was playing. And as a father, and I had 2 foster children at the time, and I always joke that the gays are put on this planet to take care of the ones you straights don't. I now consider myself a proud papa of 6 boys. And the turning point for me out of desperation was plant medicine. I'd heard about this thing called ayahuasca. And I was like, I'm not going to find love. That's just not me. I'm not hardwired for that. And I'm not a good person. There's still that shame that it was underlying. There was nothing, there were certainly things in my behavior that I could point to reinforce that I'm not a good person. But on the big picture things, I don't know why I could diagnose that. But I would constantly, that's what I would see. And through what Austin showed you in brain chemistry re-engineering and re-hardwiring, I started to find a different path. The one thing I knew for myself is I wasn't going to get married again until I could love myself and know that I would love the next person like they deserved to be loved, was my holding out for an 8-year period. But if it wasn't for the work that I did with ayahuasca and psilocybin through journeys, highly curated by professionals. I do not believe that this is something that should be taken lightly, that shouldn't be something you should joyride over. It's not a recreational substance. It's a healing tool that needs to be curated. But it made me open to love and to a new sense of purpose and partnership. In 2020, I swiped right for the last time in my life. And I'm in love today in a way that I'm so blessed. If I think about the big things that have been my seeker opportunities, prayer in the most nascent stages, Vipassana, coaching and therapy, Tony Robbins conferences, Al-Anon, by the way, the Dalai Lama said years ago, God's greatest gift to humanity was the 12 steps. If any of you have not studied the big book of the 12 steps, it's one of the most extraordinary paths to personal recovery that any of us could follow. When I wrote Who's Got Your Back, I found it because I was looking for peer groups that were supportive of each other to the point of transformation. I found it in Weight Watchers, I found it in YPO forums, I found it in AA. And I studied and went to Al-Anon and discovered the power of a group of people who wouldn't let each other fail. And it was one of the most beautiful awakenings. If I look at all of the little pivots of secretdom that I had, and then no question, plant medicine. But I'll have to tell you, what right now is my greatest healing journey? It's my love. And I didn't think about that until I saw, heard some of the early presentations. I realized the reason that even plant medicine right now may not be calling me as much as it was before was because I've got the most beautiful healing energy. I don't want to let that man down. I want to be the man that is in this relationship that honors the person I'm in love with. I've got so much work to do. Seriously. I mean, and maybe that's my scarcity mind speaking. I think probably the greatest achievement that's next for me is real acceptance. Not acceptance of my sexuality, but acceptance of what I've got. Right? I mean, that financial exercise, that beautiful sitting, meditating, what do you think of when you think of finance? I think of failure. When I think of money, I think of failure. Because I think of what I didn't make that I should have. The mistakes that I've made, the companies that I've launched that I've lost, the millions of dollars, the tens of millions of dollars, the hundreds of millions I've made, and how much I've retained of that. I think of failure. Failure. That's work I got to do. By the way, if there's anybody out here who coaches specifically to that, please grab me afterward. And that's the other thing that I've also learned. I've learned that every one of you in here, you have to live your life full of coaches. You don't have to pay them, but you have to find them, and you have to serve them. And you have to have them for all aspects of your life, for your intimate relationships, for your goals and aspirations, for your being a better chief operating officer and being a better chief executive officer and being a better chief marketing officer, because all of us entrepreneurs know that we're all of those things, right? We need to find our mentors and our coaches, and we need to serve them, and we need to create community. This is a big one. I just put it out there to you. My conflict avoidance has always been, how many people in this room have a difficult with conflict and candor? Raise your hands. Oh, beautiful. Thank you for that. Goosebumps. This has got to be on the top of your list. It's the greatest freedom that you can give yourself when you can give yourself candor, transparency. When you can give yourself the honoring of your own voice. And it's one of the most powerful things that I highly recommend that we focus on. And I find that the ability to create a social contract with your teams and with your coaches, and you get practice with being fully honest and transparent, is the greatest freedom that's happened for me in my life. And it's at the core of this belief system that I have called co-elevation. And co-elevation is what we teach executive teams to achieve. By the way, what's my number? 10. 10, great, thank you. And it's what we teach executive teams to believe. And I'll share with you, let me go back. The contract of a group of people committed deeply to achieving a mission, but also deeply committed to lifting each other up while achieving that mission. That's the principle of co-elevation. We're committed to a mission, and we're committed to each other.